Well, hello there. Yes, it is that time again. It rolls around so quickly. It is time for our weekly tarot reading here on this really quite pleasant Sunday, at this point Sunday evening, November the 5th of 2017. And I'm going to do as I usually do, and I'm going to discuss some tarot cards. We're going to look at some major and minor arcana from the Tarot de Marseille, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about astrology, or just what's coming up for this week. Okay, the cards are going to come in a moment, and they're going to cover my face. We do have three major arcana cards from the Tarot de Marseille. This is the old tarot. You can say tarot, you can say tarot, you can say potato, you can say potato, tomato, tomato, however you want to pronounce it, alright? But this is basically a pre-occulted tarot. It doesn't have all the astrological attributions, Kabbalah, all that tied in with it. It's very simple, very pure, and I find it nice and clean and easy to read with. So what we're going to be looking at this week is the World, Wheel of Fortune, and the Death card. Now as we look at the World, we have a sense of perfection. We have this woman or hermaphrodite, whichever you want to refer to her or it as, dancing in this wreath of victory, surrounded by the four cherubic animals which represent the different elements. So we have here sort of a picture of perfection, a picture of completion. But of course, nothing is static in the universe. Everything moves and changes. The wheel is turning against it. The wheel is turning towards the left. And if we look at the figure in the World card, she is sort of turning towards the left too. She's looking a bit towards the left. Maybe she's trying to ignore the changes. Maybe she wants to maintain what appears to be static. But of course that cannot be. What is static does get destroyed, as in the Death card. It gets stripped down, but it proceeds on its way in purity. So the message this week is that things may seem perfect as they are, but they're far from it. They are meant to be changed. And resisting this change, on whatever level, whatever area of your life it may be in, is futile. So it's best to embrace it and enjoy the freedom of being stripped of things, situations, or people that we don't really need. And as we accept this, we can come into peace. And we can spit it out, come into focus in our life, as you're also going to see in the minor arcana cards coming up. That's right, I pulled two minor arcana cards. This is customary in working with Tarot de Marseille. Now some readers with this deck never use the minor arcana, or pips as they're called. They'll just read with the trump cards. There's nothing wrong with that. That'll work. I happen to like to read with the whole deck, and the minor arcana will tend to give us either the underlying motivations and or some practical advice. So what we're looking at now, and what's going to come up, is the Knight of Coins, or Pentacles, as it would be called in the Rider-Waite, and the Seven of Swords. Now that Seven of Swords, that keeps coming up. We've had that come up over and over again on this blog, and believe me, I shuffle those cards really good. I don't have a thing about the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords is not a particularly good card. Sevens tend to be trouble, tend to be instability. Swords or spades in the tarot cards tend to cut, okay, tend to oppress. Now the Knight, he's just sort of like trucking along, and he's focusing upon his goal, focusing upon that coin, which I sort of see as being the goal. And it's a matter of just simply continuing forward, refining that focus. I think I mentioned this before on the blog, and it keeps coming up. Refining that focus, because that's what enables the sword to pierce through the barrier above it. It goes through the archway. There's some resistance, believe me, but it manages to do it. So purity of our goal, focus, and receptivity to change is going to be the key to serenity this week, and I think maybe to getting some things done. Okay, let's look at the astrology. It's not a lot. Again, I try to look for good aspects, stuff that matches up nice with the day of the week, the planetary days, and the planets doing some nice aspects with the moon. And again, we don't have an awful lot of that. We're now in a waning phase. We've had the full moon. We've had daylight savings time change today to Eastern Standard Time, so it was fall back, as it is every year. We had the full moon last night, so now the moon is waning. It's decreasing in power. This is fine. What we do with this is we get rid of things that we don't want or need. We can banish anger, negative emotions, fears, limitations, poverty, lack of love. These are things we can work to get rid of. Okay? So this is a time to do that. Now, we do have one aspect that matches up for the planetary day. That's going to be this Saturday, which I believe is the 11th. We are going to have the moon going trine with Saturn. That's going to be at 3:55 a.m. I won't be up then. Okay? If you're up then, you want to work with that energy, it'd be good. It'd be for getting rid of limitations. Okay? Combating stuff that limits you. Decreasing oppression. Decreasing your load. Decreasing that feeling of being buried alive. This is what working with Saturn, especially with banishing, would be good for. If you have obligations or debts that you want to lessen, this could be also an opportunity for that. Now, we don't have to work right at 3:55 a.m. It'd be ideal if we did. You know, you want to really try to take care of these aspects when what they call perfect, which is mean when they're in perfect alignment. But still, it tends to carry some of that energy through the day. You know, and Saturday again is Saturn's day. So if you want to do like a banishing of Saturn energy, this would be a good thing. Other than that, I didn't see a lot that we would do with the planets, but certainly this is a good week now for banishing stuff that we don't need, and that's always useful. Okay, well there you go. Thank you for watching my tarot blog, astrology blog. I appreciate it, and I do love you very much. Until I see you next week, many, many blessings.